Guys, welcome to Cypcode, and today we are looking at another cup of code. We are basically going through a SaaS application that I'm busy with. So this SaaS project is something that I've been thinking of for a longest of time, and I finally have some MVP on it. Just have a couple of features that are ready on a freemium subscription, but on the freemium I don't really need anyone to subscribe. So I'll take you through the two features that I have created, which are on a freemium package, if I can call it that. So what I'm basically creating is like a software financial management application. So you'll be able to, if you're running a business, you will be able to like create your quotations or estimates, create your invoices, and essentially keep track on your accounts, your financials, income, expenses, and things like that. So this is one thing that I'm working on, and I will just take you through the in quotation or invoice creation piece, where you'll be able to generate quotation that more or less looks like what we have here. So this will be available on a free package. You'll be able to specify things like your company details, your address, your email address, the customer that you are basically creating the invoice or the quotation for, and you'll be able to give like a reference of that particular quotation or invoice. You also have an issue date and valid until, which is the expiry date. So you will see all of these details. You'll be able to capture on this side, on the application side, and at the end you'll be able to get the quotation, and you can basically download that and be able to send it to your customer or print it out to give it to your customer. So this is a packaging that I'm about to release in the next week or 2 weeks or so. That's because I still want to set up the AWS environments. I want to release the front end on Amazon S3, and I'll also AWS S3, and then I'll deploy the back end on an EC2 instance. I also need a Postgres RDS with AWS. So if you are interested in seeing the deployment or the release, please do comment down on the section on the comment section below, and just let me know if you want to see that video, and I'll basically release it for you, and you will see how AWS deploys go. But other than that, I do have a video on the channel about AWS deploy. So just search on the videos, just type AWS deploy or deployment, and you should be able to find that video. But let me just run you through the application. So here you'll see that the link is localhost for 200. That's free quotation, and I can basically over here choose a logo. Excuse me. I can just choose a logo right here, and it will take me to the file system, and I can basically go to, like, let's say maybe documents. Let's go to projects. Let's go to Cypcode, and let's open this. Right, then you see that we have a logo over here, and we can click on supplier, and we will supply the details. Let's say maybe this is Cypcode. Let's say maybe developer at Cypcode on the, or you can choose whatever sales the Cypcode, and then you choose like an address, maybe let's say 12 Boulevard Avenue, something like that, suite, maybe you can say suite 15, whatever the case might be. City, let's maybe say New York, and then we can put the state as New York. I think New York is New York, and then the country, United States of America, something like that. Let's just do that, and then zip code. I don't know what it is, so let's just put like something maybe 1900, something like that. Yeah, that should suffice. Then company registration, you'll put your company registration number. Contact person, who's the guy that they to liaise with. Maybe you'll just say developer, or you will say agent or whatever. And then you'll put like a mobile number, something like that, and you also put the cell number there, and you put the website just like that, .com, and you can save these details, and you will see the supplier is now populated, and then you can click on customer, and on customer, let's say maybe the customer name is customer buyer, and we will say customer at company on the email .com. Street is let's maybe say first, road, street, and we say suite, maybe let's say apartment, block, let's say maybe block 3, unit 28. Yeah, I think that should suffice. Then the city, let's maybe say what can we, let's maybe say London, it doesn't really matter. State, let's call it London also. Country, maybe let's say England. Zip code, let's give it like a 5,000. All right. Then the contact person, let's say this is customer, right? The mobile number, we can just put any mobile number, doesn't really matter. Then website is company.com, right? Then we can save these details. Then the quote reference, we can just put Q, say 2025, maybe just put 25, February, maybe 01 or whatever the case might be, and then you put like 001. Then you say the banking details. These are your banking details, obviously, where you want your payments to go through. Let's say the bank name, let's say World Money Bank, and you Swift code with maybe SW whatever. Then account holder will be Cypcode, because you are the supplier. And then account number to whatever garbage account number you want to put over there. Then you save these details and your bank is populated. Issue date, that will be today's date or whatever dates that you prefer. Then the currency symbol, you can use the dollar, you can use, let me see, keyboard does not have that like a pound sign, but let's use dollar for now, it's convenient. Tax, you can put like a 15%, 10%, 8%, whatever the case might be that applies to you. And then you can say validity, let's say maybe let's say 5 days, that should be fine. Then on the items here, it's where you actually put your items. Let's say front end, maybe UI, UX, design, Then here on the description, we'll just put front end with Figma artifacts, maybe let's call it that, with Figma artifacts, right? And then we'll say, let's say maybe quantity is like 4, then this will be like 54,999.99, right? Something like that, doesn't really matter. And then the next one, maybe let's say this is, let's call it like employee, or let's call it what? Whatever backend. Let's call this microservice architecture design. Let's call this architecture design. On the description, we don't really need to go into like details. And then maybe let's say 5 or like 8 or whatever amount. Let's say maybe 12. Then we're gonna price this maybe let's say like a 92,000, something like that, right? Then now you've added your items, and you can basically see that as we type, it does the calculations. If we change the quantity here, all the calculations are being populated. The subtotal, you can see it's like 11 million. Tax is like 1.1 million. Total amount is 12.3 million. And you can basically then say get quotation, and it will basically download that for you. We'll just let's see this coming through. Let's see. It should be downloading, but let's see what's going on. Application, everything is looking fine on the back end, and why is it not downloading? Let's click on that. Let's see. Maybe I might need to bounce. Right. Yes, it downloaded. So it was busy. So you can see download from localhost. Let's allow the downloads. Then it downloaded. And let's see the file. And you can see the file that was downloaded is Ballanced Cypcode Q with the reference over there. So that's fine. And now let's see what the code looks like. The code, Cypcode, Suite 15, 12 Boulevard Avenue, New York, United States of America. That's the company registration, sales and Cypcode. Customer is customer buyer, First Road Street, 5000 England. And the reference is there. The issue date is 11th of February, and then the validity is, remember we said 5 days, and that is until the 16th. So that tallies with the dates that we actually have over here, which is 5 days. And the logo is populated, and the description, this is the item name and the description of the item. So as you can see, item name, front end UI UX design, front end UI UX design with Figma artifacts, and that is front end UI UX design with Figma artifacts. Quantity is 4, price is that, total is that, and then you also have the quantity for the other, the second item over there. And then we have the subtotal as listed over there, and we also have the tax amount, and we also have the total amount over there. And the backend details, account holder, bank, account number, and the SWIFT over there. So all the details are coming through, and we can come in here, and now that we've created a quotation, say you've done the work, now you're invoicing for the work. Obviously, quotation you sent before they basically accept that they'll be able to, they actually can, they agree to that amount, and you can continue with the work. So with invoice, you will go to free invoice, then let's hit enter. So if you go to invoice, you will see it's basically the same design and the same look and feel. But we are dealing with an invoice at this point, and you'll have an invoice reference, and you'll also have the capability of saying the validity duration for your invoice. So I'm not sure why my machine is this slow, because everything is fine. So let's go back. Let's see. Invoice is coming through, and let me showcase that as well. So the documents here are being served from a Spring microservice backend, and that uses Jasper template. So I created Jasper template, and that Jasper template, let me just open Jasper quickly, and you'll be able to see how that looks like. See if this machine behaves. Looks like it's slow today. I just restarted the machine, so I'm not sure why it's acting up. Oh, right, so invoice is back. So you can see now we are on the invoice side. And in the invoice, we can pretty much do the same thing. We'll choose a logo, and it will take us to our file. We select the logo that we want. Let's say maybe we want a different logo. Whatever logo you prefer, that's your company logo. Then you can say supplier. You capture the supplier details. Let's call this supplier, and we will say supplier at company.com. Then we will say 8 Road Avenue, something like that. Then you say Suite 8 as well. City, we'll just call this city. State, we'll just call this state. Country, we'll call this country. Zip code, we'll just call 1000. Company registration, whatever the case might be. Customer contact person, we'll just say, okay, Jasper is coming up. All right, contact person, we'll just say supplier. And we have contact number, and we can put that contact number over there. Copy this guy, paste that there, www.supplier.com, right? And we can save this, and we go to customer. And again, don't want to worry ourselves with too much detail. Customer at company.com. Street, let's just call this street. Suit, let's just call this suit. City, state, and country. And you also, let's maybe do this as 2000. And then contact person is customer. Contact phone, contact cell, www.company.com. And we save these details as well. The reference here is invoice 250201 and then bank. This is where we want our money to go to, so let's do that. And then Cypcode, like we can basically put whatever. Then the account holder, let's call this supplier because that's a supplier. Then account number, we can just put any number there, and that should suffice. Issue date, we're saying today. Symbol, we can put like a ZAR, which is South African rand. Then percentage, we just put, let's say maybe 18%, doesn't really matter. And we can put like a 30-day validity, and we can put items or the items that we want to put in here. Let's call these products ABC or product ABC. Let's copy that, paste it here for client services delivered, something like that. Right, so that looks good. We can basically have 3, and we do like maybe a 49.99, right? And add another item, then we will say service DEF, and then that service we'll put it there for customer ABC, something like that. We will do 2 of these, then we put like 37.99.95, right? So now we have our items, and you see the subtotal is there, the text is there, the total amount is there, and we get invoice, and we basically wait for invoice to be generated. Right, so now that was quicker. Then we click on the invoice, we look at that, and you can see, and you come through just now, right? Now we have our Quantum logo, invoice, supplier, suite 8 Road Avenue, 1000 city, country, company reg, and then supplier at company.com, customer street 2000 country, reference, that's the reference of the invoice, the issue date is on that date, 30 days from this date is 2025, the 3rd of the 13th, and that's the validity. Then we have our product here, product ABC, and service DEF, quantity 3, quantity 2, price is that, and the price is there, totals is there. Scroll down, we get the subtotal, we get the text, we get the overall amount, and we basically have the account details, supplier, World Money Bank, account number, and the SWIFT code with what we provided over there. And this is basically the invoice, and we also have the quotation. And because these are offered at a freemium level or a freemium package, the data will not be stored until basically you choose to register, and then from then on we'll only store your details as you will be an account holder, and basically you would want those auto-populated. You wouldn't want to populate all of these details every time you create an invoice. So something like your supplier details, those will be populated on the fly, and then you'll select from a list of the customers that you already have on your record. Then you will basically populate the customer you want to send the invoice or the quotation for. And also, if you want to add a new customer, you can, or update your details, you can. And then based on that information, you can then populate these much quicker. And also the backend details auto-populated. The issue date, you basically have the current date, or otherwise you'll select a preferred date. And then you'll have your currency. If you have a currency that you've already stored, that will be pre-populated, and the text, you also have that pre-populated. Validity duration, you will populate that. And then the items, you will select from the items that already exist in your inventory, so it's easier for you to just populate these items much quicker than for you to actually write all of them as in a free package. So that's essentially what we're going for. And this is offering to go live in the next 2 weeks. So before the end of February, this should be live. And if you want to be part of the release, I will basically be doing that, and you can. I'll basically let you know when we are doing the release, and you will be on the lookout for some free quotation creations, invoice creations, and hopefully you guys can also be able to like register. So you'd go to a registration page and be able to register your username, your email, your password, just like that. We don't need a lot, so you can see if you have a different username you want, that's why we have the username field. Otherwise, your email should suffice, and then you'll have your password, and you can create an account. Already have an account, you can basically log in, and you will be able to log in over here, and then from there you will proceed with your transactions, creating and managing your accounts. But other than that, we are essentially ready with our free invoice and free quotation creation, and that is the end of this particular SaaS product that I've been working on. And now that Jasper is up, let me just show you. So this is the template design, and you can see the logo. We populate these from the backend service. We also populate the details over here as parameters into the template with all the data that we got from the user input over here. So this is just to show you like the end-to-end. So the front end is Angular TypeScript. So we have all of the details being populated from the Angular front end, and we have our back end coming from a Spring microservice, just like that. So we create or integrate with Jasper to create the actual PDF documents that you see as the final product. And I hope with that, guys, you do like and subscribe, and do comment any question, concerns, and basically be addressing those accordingly. And you will see on the Swagger, you will see a lot of APIs that are running, a lot of the income, the expenditure, the reports, and the lookups for populating some of the lookups that we have, and the dashboard data for those that are already registered within the system. So you'll have a dashboard endpoint like that. So this is just to show you the APIs that are running under the hood. So that's an end-to-end of the